Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu to all my sisters in Mwona. I'm Shabna Mohamed Ali from Wisconsin. In Kerala, we are from Thrissur. The topic I'll be talking today is about Sabr and nurturing Sabr during Ramadan. Since this is a vast topic and we only have limited time, I will not be quoting from Quran and Hadith. Rather, I'll try to summarize the message. When we hear Sabr, most of the time what comes to our mind is to remain calm when faced with a loss. While it's true, however, Sabr in an Islamic concept is a very comprehensive word that includes not only patience, but also traits like self-control, steadfastness, perseverance. Sabr is an essential aspect of our deen, so much so that one simply cannot be a good Muslim with strong iman without having sabr. In the Quran, you would find over 90 ayats related to the virtue and reward of sabr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has repeatedly said in the Quran that He is with the as-sabirun and He loves the as-sabirun. On the day of judgment, the people of sabr will be granted full reward for their good deeds without reckoning. Now, when it's said full reward without reckoning, that means they will be rewarded in full for the good deeds, and it will not be diminished in any way with the mistakes or sins they committed. All of their sins, their mistakes will be wiped away because of their sabr. Subhanallah. And these blessed people will be granted the highest place in Jannah. And when they enter, they will be greeted by the Malaika with the greeting of peace. May Allah make us amongst these blessed group of people of sabr. So, what actually is sabr? Sabr is of three kinds, and we will also discuss how can we practice sabr in Ramadan. The first one, acceptance of the decree of the Almighty when the calamity comes. A calamity could be a sickness, death of loved one, loss of wealth, and so on. And it can be very devastating to deal with. But at that time, to trust in Allah's promise that He will not burden us beyond what we can bear, to still be able to see the khair, and to have that firm belief that your loss will be compensated by Allah is sabr. And this sabr should be our first reaction to the calamity. In a hadith, Prophet ﷺ said, "Verily, patience is at the first strike." That kind of calmness to be our first reaction needs full trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's not going to pop up out of anywhere. We have to practice that calmness and patience in our everyday life with those little things that are lost or broken, be it our favorite glassware, our car, and all that upsets us. That is how we build that trust. Only then, when we are tested, will we be able to say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Surely we belong to Allah and to Him shall we return. Moving on to the second one, restraint required to avoid the prohibitions. Just being in Ramadan itself, we are restraining from food and drink for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is, by the way, halal outside of Ramadan. So what about the other things which are either haram or is of no value? It is hard to keep away from that we are so accustomed to, be it watching movies, wasting time on social media, bursting with anger, gossiping. But then when we try to control ourselves from our weaknesses, expecting the reward from Allah, that self-control is sabr. Again, this self-control also needs training, and Ramadan is a perfect time to train not just us, but our kids as well, especially the kids who are not baligh. I want to tell you a story. My mom knew this lady, and she used to be a tutor to the daughter of the Princess of Qatar. And this princess, mashallah, she was known to be a very pious and religious lady. So one day during Ramadan, when this tutor went to teach to their house, the girl was sleeping. The maid tried to wake her up, and the girl was just rude and yelled at the maid. Seeing this, the mom just walks up to her daughter with a cup of water and tells her that her fast is broken. Subhanallah, the girl just drank and broke her fast. What you see here is this mother teaching her daughter that without the fast of eyes, ears, and mouth, your fast doesn't hold much meaning in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This incident was related to me years ago, and it has influenced the way how I deal with my own kids. Teach them it is important to fast with their senses, that fasting is more than just staying hungry and thirsty, and to end with a tasty iftar. Let them feel that this is the month to get closer to their own Creator. Now, the third and the last kind of sabr, endurance required to fulfill the commands of Allah. Out on the track, endurance means the stamina we need to keep up that level of speed or pace to finish the race with a chance of winning. In Ramadan, we keep higher goals of ibadah than the other months, right? And to fulfill them, we too need to keep up a pace to maintain that quantity and quality to complete this month with success and hopeful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward our deeds. For instance, you made a personal goal to finish khatam of the Quran. To make sure you do complete the khatam, you have to maintain a pace and keep track of it. Some days you will have to strive to find the time for it. It could be between your errands, during your work. There could be days you feel too tired to pray Taraweeh. But then when you push yourself to pray anyway for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, expecting His reward, that push, that strive is your sabr. The very sabr that will get you to the highest level of Jannah. Here I'll be concluding my short talk, and I pray we could all benefit from this reminder. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all sabr during this month and always, and make us amongst the as-sabirun. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.